What if the reason you cannot sleep tonight is not because your body is tired, but because your soul is still carrying something too heavy to lay down? There are nights when the room is silent, yet the heart feels unbearably loud. Tonight may be one of those nights. The lights are off, the world has gone quiet, everyone else seems to be resting, and yet inside you, something is still awake. A thought, a fear, a memory, a pressure you kept pushing through all day. Something followed you into this night. Something sat beside you the moment your head touched the pillow, and maybe deep down you already know what it is. The thing you smiled through, the thing you never said out loud, the burden that daylight helped you hide. It is strange how night does that, isn't it? The darkness outside somehow makes the truth inside impossible to ignore. What if tonight is not just another sleepless night? What if this is the night your heart finally lets go of what it has been holding for too long? Stay with me, because before this prayer ends, I believe something inside you is going to shift. The heaviness you walked into this night with may not leave the same way. The fear that followed you to this bed may not still have a voice by the end of this prayer, and the peace you have been searching for might be closer than you think. Welcome to Evening Grace Prayers. I am so grateful you are here with me tonight. If this space has been a comfort to your heart, please subscribe to the channel and help us continue creating peaceful bedtime prayers for every night your soul needs rest. Now stay here, do not scroll away, do not rush this moment, because sometimes the holiest moments do not arrive in daylight. They come in the quiet, in the stillness, in the hour, when the world stops asking things from you. This is the hour when the heart begins to tell the truth. All day long, we keep moving, we answer people, we handle responsibilities, we keep ourselves together. But night has a way of gently removing every distraction, and what remains is the honest weight of the soul. I know this moment deeply. This sacred space before sleep has become one of the most meaningful moments of my life, because it is here, in the silence, in the dim light, in the slow breathing, in the stillness of evening, that I have learned something beautiful. Sometimes peace does not come from having answers. Sometimes peace comes from finally placing the burden into God's hands. Take a slow breath with me. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw release. Let the bed beneath you remind your body that you are safe. The day is over now. Nothing from today needs to be solved in this moment. This moment belongs to stillness. This moment belongs to grace. And tonight, before sleep takes you, we're going to step together into a peace so deep it reaches the places words cannot touch. And as the weight of the day begins to loosen its grip, let us step even deeper into this quiet moment where the heart can finally meet God without noise of silence now. Not the silence that feels empty, not the silence that makes loneliness louder. This silence feels almost alive. It feels as though the room itself is breathing more slowly with you. The lamp beside the bed on the wall no longer feels heavy. The air has changed. What felt restless a few moments ago is beginning to soften. I have always believed there is something sacred night, not the middle of the day when everything is asking something from us, not the busy moments when our minds are scattered across responsibilities, but this hour, this quiet, unguarded space before sleep. It is here that the soul stops performing. It is here that the heart, because we know how to keep moving. We know how to answer questions. We know how to smile through the pressure. We know how to carry what hurts without letting it show. But the evening is different. Evening has a way of gently removing every layer we wore to survive thee. The brave face softens, the thoughts we pushed aside begin to rise, And what remains is something deeply human, a tired heart longing to be held. This is why I treasure these moments with God before sleep. Not because I always arrive with perfect peace. Most nights I do in his room carrying words I wish I had never heard. Sometimes I bring disappointments that followed me home. Sometimes I carry a quiet fear about tomorrow that I could not shake all day. And yet every night I return to this same sacred truth. The evening is This is what evening grace prayers has become for me. Not a routine, not a religious task, but a return to stillness, a return to honesty, a return to the place where I remember everything alone. Take another slow breath with me. Let your chest rise gently. Let it fall slowly. Feel the bed beneath you. Feel the stillness around you. There is no pressure here. Nothing is being demanded of you in this moment. You right now. This moment belongs entirely to your soul. Outside, the night continues quietly. Perhaps the moon is resting somewhere behind the clouds. Perhaps the stars are scattered softly above your roof. I often imagine that heaven feels closest during hours like this, not because God is, but because our hearts are finally quiet enough to notice him. This is the sacred space before sleep, the place where the mind begins to stop fighting, the place where the soul begins to unclench, the place where think of the words in Book of Psalms, Psalm 121. I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord. Tonight, those words feel deeply personal because maybe help is exactly what this heart needs. Not answers, not explanations, not certainty. Help to let go, help to trust, help to rest. And maybe that is why this moment is so holy, because it is the moment we stop trying to save ourselves, stop rehearsing tomorrow. We stop replaying today. We stop carrying what belongs in God's hands. And now, as the room grows quieter and the soul becomes more open, let us move gently into prayer. Heavenly Father, Teli as I am, no polished words, no perfect thoughts, just a tired heart sitting quietly in your presence. Thank you for bringing me safely to this moment. Thank you for carrying me through every unseen hour of today, for the things that hurt, for the moments I understood, for the moments I still do not. You were with me through all of it. And now, Lord, as the night wraps around this room, I ask that your peace would wrap around my heart. Let your presence settle over Ing. Let this room become a sanctuary. Let this bed become a place of peace. Let every restless thought begin to slow under the gentleness of your love, Father. You know, what I have been carrying, the thoughts I have not spoken, the fears I kept hidden, the emotions. Tonight, I bring them to you, not because I am strong, but because I am tired of carrying them alone. Your word in Book of Psalms, Psalm 23, reminds me that you lead me beside still waters and restore my soul. That is what I need, ton soul, a heart that no longer feels like it is bracing itself for tomorrow. Lord, begin that work in me now. Let this prayer become the doorway into rest. Let this moment become the beginning of peace. And as we continue in the heart, be gently placed into your hands. And now, as the heart has entered this sacred stillness with God, let us begin to gently place into his hands everything that was never meant to follow us into the night of the evening that always feels the most honest to me. It is the moment when I stop pretending I am stronger than I really feel. The moment when the soul no longer hides behind the noise of the day. The moment when I finally admit what this heart has been carrying. Some nights, the weight, what is troubling me, a conversation that left a bruise on my spirit, a responsibility waiting for tomorrow, a fear I have been quietly avoiding. But there are other nights when the heaviness feels harder to name. It is simply there, a pressure in the chest, a mind that refuses to stop circling, a sadness that never fully speaks its name. Tonight, Lord, I bring both to you, The burdens I understand, and the burdens I do not, because if I have learned anything in these quiet evenings with you, it is more than the mind knows how to explain. Father, you know every thought that followed me into this room tonight. You know the memory that keeps replaying, the words I wish I had said differently, the silence I keep interpreting, the future I keep trying to predict, the outcome I keep trying to content to keep holding all of this inside myself. So I place it before you. I lay down the weight of today, the moments that drained me, the moments that disappointed me, the moments I smiled through, eve as quietly breaking. Lord, take what this heart has been carrying. Take the pressure to have everything figured out. Take the fear of what tomorrow may bring. Take the exhaustion that sits deeper than the body. Take the S into the night. There are things from today I am still replaying, small moments that should have passed yet somehow remain. A sentence someone spoke, a look I cannot forget, a mistake. I keep revise of turning these things into storms after dark. But tonight, Father, I choose not to keep feeding that storm. I choose surrender. I choose release. I choose trust. Sometimes the hardest tea event itself, it is the meaning we attach to it, the fear that it means tomorrow will be worse, the belief that one moment defines our worth, the quiet assumption that we must fix Evid to rest. But Lord, tonight I release even those interpretations. I do not need to solve my life before sleep. I do not need to force peace. I only need to place myself in your presence. Father, I place my work into your hands. Every unfinished responsibility, every task, every pressure to perform, every expectation I feel from others, every expectation I have placed upon myself. Tonight, I release the burden of achievement. I release the release the fear that I am not doing enough. Tomorrow's work belongs to tomorrow, and tomorrow belongs to you, Father. I place my loved ones into your hands tonight, the people whose names live quietly in my heart, the ones A4, the ones whose pain I cannot remove. Sometimes the heaviest burdens are not our own, they are the pain of those we love. Tonight I surrender them to your care. Watch over them, protect them, just cannot go. Touch what my words cannot heal, be present where my presence cannot reach. Lord, I place my inner fears before you. The fears I rarely say aloud, the fear of failure. The F-mything precious may change, the fear of not being enough. These fears can feel so much louder at night. The world goes quiet and suddenly every insecurity finds a voer. Your truth is stronger, your peace is deeper. So tonight I release fear into the hands of love. I release insecurity into the hands of grace. I release uncertainty into the hands of a God who already stands in tomorrow. Your word in Book of Psalms, Psalm 91, reminds me, he who dwells most high shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty Lord. Let this heart dwell there tonight. Not in fear, not in overthinking, not in mental exhaustion, but in the secret place of your under the shadow of your wings. Let every anxious pattern lose its power in your presence. Let the places inside me that have been bracing all day finally soften. Father, though day that I have not yet named, the expectations that were not met, the hopes that did not unfold the way I imagined, the prayer, I am still waiting, disappointment to you too, because even disappointment becomes lighter when it is shared with you. Even unanswered questions become gentler in your hands. Tonight, I release the need for imimeline. I created in my mind, I release the pressure I put on life to unfold according to my expectations. And in its place, Lord, does not depend on visible outcomes, a trust that rests in who you are, a trust that can sleep peacefully even without certainty. Father, I also bring gratitude into this moment, because even in the wait, small ones, quiet ones, the kind we often overlook, a breath, a moment of kindness, a door that opened, a conversation that comforted, a strength I did not know, I only see, thank you. Thank you for carrying me through this day. Thank you for the grace that met me in places I did not even recognize. Thank you for remaining faithful, even when let gratitude soften the last remaining heaviness. Let thankfulness become part of my healing, Lord. Lead my thoughts beside still waters tonight. Genu Math Block Widget Always Banix 3 Right. Like gentle ripples settling into calm, let every thought slow down, let every mental loop lose its urgency. Let ever I trust you with today, I trust you with tomorrow, I trust you with the things I understand, and I trust you with the things I do not. Most of all tonight, I release the day. I release the pressure, I release the fear, I release the questions, I release the pain, and I rest in the hands of a God who never asks me to carry alone. Dub me. And now, as the burdens of the day have been gently surrendered, let us move into the deep peace and protection of the night in God's presence. Math Blockjet always prefetch v2, content, y equal 58 plus 3, lex 3, right. Right. And now that the burdens of this day have been gently surrendered, let us move deeper into the quiet mercy of the night and rest beneath God's covering peace of the evening. I love the most. It is the moment after the heart has finally exhaled, the moment when what felt heavy no longer sits in the same place. The room has not changed, the same ceiling above, the same blanket resting over the body, the same silence around the room, and yet something inside feels different now, softer, quieter, less guarded. This is what your ways change the circumstances in a moment, but so often you begin by changing the atmosphere within the heart. The fear loses its sharpness, the pressure loosens its grip. The soul, Biggie, Lord, I want to remain in that safety. I do not want to rush out of this peace. I want to let it settle deeply. I want it to reach the places inside me that have been tense for far day cred about the night, when it is entrusted to you. The darkness no longer feels threatening. The silence no longer feels empty. The stillness no longer feels lonely, because now the sense your word in Book of Psalms, Psalm 121, reminds me that you neither slumber nor sleep. That truth touches me deeply every evening, because while my eyes full, while this body rests, your care does not pause. While the world around me sleeps, your love remains fully awake. There is such comfort in knowing that I do not have to keep watch, not need to mentally stand guard. I do not need to keep rehearsing tomorrow in my mind as if overthinking could somehow protect me. I do not need to stay emotionally alert to keep myself safe. You are my watches through the night. So tonight, Father, I release my need for control even more deeply. I release the invisible habit of staying mentally awake. I release the way my mind tries to protect possible outcome. I release the constant scanning for what might go wrong. And instead, I choose to rest under your care. Cover this row pace, become holy with peace. Let every corner of this room be filled with stillness. Let the air itself feel lighter. Let the presence of fear leave this place. Let every anxious atmosphere be replaced bed tonight. Let it become a place of healing, a place where the body can fully let go, a place where the heart no longer needs to defend itself, a place where sleep, trust. Father, let your peace settle over this pillow. Let the moment my head rests become a moment of surrender. Let every breath I take remind me that the hardest part of the night is not the darkness outside. It is the darkness of the thoughts that return when everything becomes still. Thoughts that ask difficult questions. Thoughts that magnify fear. But tonight, Lord, let your voice be louder than every anxious thought. Not louder in force, but deeper in truth. Gentler in peace. More powerful in love tonight. Remind me that I am not alone. Remind me that this night is held. Remind me that tomorrow is already in your hands. Your word in bookies felt especially precious at night. He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. I love that image so much. A refuge, a covering, ally, stop bracing. Tonight, let this heart rest under the shadow of your wings. Let every fear that rises after dark lose its voice there. Let ever gain become quiet there. Let every pressure about tomorrow in that refuge, Loite, watch over every room, every doorway, every sleeping heart under this roof. Let peace rest over this house like a gentle blanket. Where there has been tension, conflict, bring mercy. Where there has been weariness, bring renewal. Where there has been sadness, bring comfort. I especially lift up the places in the heart, the hidden loneliness, the quiet ache, the fear that no one fully sees, the tears that only come when the lights are off. Father, please meet those places with tenderness. Be closer than every fear, gentler than every memory, softer than every wound. This is why I cherish these evening prayers, because this does not feel like list feels like sitting with a trusted friend in the presence of God, a friend who understands what the night can do to the mind, a friend who knows how fear grows louder, also learned that peace can be found here too. Tonight, let your presence move through this room like still water, slowly, quietly, deeply. Let the body feel it first, the shoulders relaxing, the chest G, then let the heart feel it, the fear softening, the sadness becoming gentler, the pressure easing, and finally let the soul feel it, that deep, almost indescribable peace wing. You are near, Father. I rest now in the truth that nothing can reach me outside of your awareness. Nothing enters this night without passing through your hands. Nothing about this heart is hidden from you. That truth allows me to rest more deeply. I do not have to stay ready for everything. I only need to remain in your peace. Let this Nigon restore what stress has worn down, restore what worried, restore what fear, sorrow has weakened. And let this peace continue to deepen as sleep draws near, as the room grows quieter and the eyes grow heavier. Let us now gently move into the final surrender of God's presence. And now, as peace has settled gently over the heart and the night rests safely in God's hands, let us step softly into the final surrender of sleep moment. I always wait for the moment when the room has become so quiet that even my thoughts seem to slow their footsteps. The moment when the body finally begins to understand what the soul has already discovered. It is safe to rest now. The day is no lawn from me. No one needs an answer from me right now. No burden needs to be solved before my eyes close. No fear needs to be carried one step further into this night. What followed me into this room does into my sleep. The heaviness stops here. The overthinking stops here. The fear stops here. Tonight it ends in your presence. That truth touches something deep inside me. Because some art of the day is not the day itself. It is the moment we lie down and everything we pushed aside comes rushing back. The memory, the pressure, the ache, the worry about tomorrow. But tonight, ifrant. Tonight, this heart does not go to sleep, holding everything together. Tonight, this heart goes to sleep, being held. That changes everything. There is something holy about this final moment before sleep. It feels ledge of still water beneath a moonlit sky. The world has gone silent. The breathing has become slower. The heart has softened. And now the soul gently steps into trust. Lord, thank you for bringing me to this place tonight. Thank you for meeting me in the silence. Thank you for GA every part of this evening, through the restlessness, through the surrender, through the healing, through the peace. You were present in the first anxious breath, and you are still here in this peaceful one. I can feel how different this heart is now. Vegan, the tightness has loosened, the storm has quieted, the pressure no longer sits in the same place. This is what your presence feels like, not loud, not forceful, but deep, gentle, certain, like warmth slowly moving through cold hands, like soft rain, like a trusted friend, remaining beside you until peace returns. Father, I give you this final moment of wakefulness, this last layer of thought, this final movement of the mind. Take it into your peace. Let every remaining thought be unfinished sentence in my mind gently fade. Let every question I cannot answer tonight rest in your hands. I do not fall asleep in fear tonight. I fall asleep in grace. I do not fall asleep in pressure. I fall asleep in peace. I do not fall asleep in loneliness. I fall asleep in the presence of my eyes begin to grow heavier. Let this room remain filled with peace. Let the atmosphere stay soft. Let the silence remain holy. Let this sleep become an extension of this prayer, not the end of this moment on of resting in you. Father, breathe healing into this sleep. Restore what the day has worn down. Restore the body. Restore the mind. Restore the emotions. Restore the hidden places. Inns lie. You can reach. Some tiredness lies deeper than the body. A weariness of carrying too much for too long. A weariness of always having to be strong. A weariness of smiling while the heart quietly hurts. Tonight, Lord, let this sleep reach even there. Bring, so est your word promises in the gospel. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That is the rest I receive, but rest for the soul, rest for the places inside me that have been bracing against life. As I drift towards St. Matthew Eames, I remain in your care. Even in the middle of the night, if my eyes oak, I feel be peace. Let this bed feel like refuge. Let this room feel like safety. Let this night feel like being carried. Father, I place Tadis now. I will not take it with me into sleep. The responsibilities can wait. The conversations can wait. The unknown can wait. Tomorrow belongs to you. Tonight belongs to rest. Tony Nang, tonight belongs to grace. I love this sacred stillness with you, this quiet place where the world fades and only peace remains. This is where I remember who I am, not what I achieved, failed to do, not what others expected from me, but simply yours, held, known, loved, protected, and maybe for the first time all day this heart can finally breathe without pressure. May truly peaceful breath I have taken since morning, and if that is true, then tonight has already become a gift. Now, Lord, I close my eyes. I let the body sink gently into rest. I let the breathing become slower. I let the mind become still inside your presence. In Jesus' name, amen. If this prayer brought peace to your heart tonight, please write amen tonight in the comments so we can continue praying together as a family here at Evening Grace Prayers. Your comment may be the exact and needs before sleep tonight. And if this blessest your spirit, stay with us by subscribing so we can meet here again tomorrow night in God's peace.